brotherhood's a weapon. Real niggas rise in line in the fire and the fiction we survive. I tell no lie, when trouble arise, we tell them cross the line, won't wear till I die. And never compromise, loyalty over the sign, that's how we live our lives, we'll raise the banner high, high. When we ride, real niggas look at hate in the eye, all cowards die. My brotherhood's a weapon. Real niggas rise in line in the fire and the fiction we survive. I tell no lie, when trouble arise, we tell them cross the line, won't wear till I die. And never compromise, loyalty over the sign, that's how we live our lives, we'll raise the banner high, high. When we ride, real niggas look at hate in the eye. It's one West, you know, we all about our people. No cowards, how we roll. Let's keep it deaf in this hole. Rose out of concrete, red furnace of affliction, yeah, by my feet. Street this cyber with the dead when I speak, break bread when I eat the mice bow down at our feet, cause we royalty, Niggas walking so nobly, on over this loyalty, ain't no controlling, we in solidarity, stand on integrity as a singularity, giving niggas a reprisal. We the business, do it down, it's like about survival. Born in the mud, 10 toes called Geico, crash any niggas on the block trying to cycle. No cowards at your neck, give our people on the private. A killer might kill a psycho like Michael, Archangel cutting lifelines, breaking strong codes on the feeling title. You boys on the rigid recycle, so trifle. We tight like a beach in the game, no deny like faithful. Eating mice written in the Bible. We on the same look alive, ho. This ain't no revival, but we revive those. Broken looking for a reprisal. Together we'll break this carnal cycle. We don't bang no rival. Gang nigga, this is tribal. 12 families under one banner, blacks, Hispanics, Native Americans, this the arrival. All cowards die, my brotherhood's a weapon. Real niggas rise in line in the fire and the fiction we survive. I tell no lie, when trouble arise, we tell them cross the line, won't wear till I die. And never compromise, loyalty over the sign, that's how we live our lives, we'll raise the banner high, high. When we ride, real niggas look at hate in the eye, all cowards die, my brotherhood's a weapon. Real niggas rise in line in the fire and the fiction we survive. I tell no lie, when trouble arise, we tell them cross the line, won't wear till I die. And never compromise, loyalty over the sign, that's how we live our lives, we'll raise the banner high, high. When we ride, real niggas look at hate in the eye. Brotherhood like cold piss in the pan, we in this whole thing like flies and shit. Boys winning in, one body, one spirit, nostalgia like 90s Louis Printer, Dapper Dan. Come with the flex, boy, you better off pissing off in a fan. 10 toes, I was there, no guy was led by light. Shirt I was before, man. From Western over this honor is the old man. Feel no man, rolling on the road, man. Coming for atonement. Savage like Conan. All cowards die, my brotherhood's a weapon. Real niggas rise in line in the fire and the fiction we survive. I tell no lie, when trouble arise, we tell them cross the line, won't wear till I die. And never compromise, loyalty over the sign, that's how we live our lives, we'll raise the banner high, high. When we ride, real niggas look at hate in the eye, all cowards die, my brotherhood's a weapon. Real niggas rise in line in the fire and the fiction we survive. I tell no lie, when trouble arise, we tell them cross the line, won't wear till I die. And never compromise, loyalty over the sign, that's how we live our lives, we'll raise the banner high, high. When we ride, real niggas look at hate in the eye. All right. Clap it up. All right. This is the Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge. Started out at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York, under commanding General YAHANNA. It is Monday, the history breakdown class, where we break it down line upon line, precept upon precept, here a little, there a little. We are in Genesis 45, finishing this bad boy up. With probably one of the most important lessons that can ever be taught, which is brotherhood. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to understand the importance of sacrifice, right? Nothing in this world progresses without sacrifice. Whether I got a cup, brother, you can just bring it to me. Nothing in this world progresses without sacrifice. The water. You know what I'm saying? So in order for us to grow as a people, in order for us to grow as a nation, I mean, you bring it down from a macrocosm to a microcosm. In order for you to grow as a person, it's going to take sacrifice.
You understand? And it's always took sacrifice. The question you have to ask yourself is, what are you willing to sacrifice? Because you've sacrificed a lot your entire life. And the majority of the time, what you've sacrificed is the Lord. And everything that you wanted to do, whether it was, whatever woman that you wanted to be with, you understand, whatever addiction you had, whether it was alcoholism, whether it was pornography, whether it was lying, whether it was stealing, you understand, whatever it was, you always made sacrifice for what you want to do. But in order for us to have what we never have, you have to be willing to sacrifice what you've never sacrificed before. You understand? And what the type of sacrifice that is going to take is brotherhood. And what you got to understand about brotherhood, it don't always feel good. And a lot of times in your life, you going to feel like Joseph. You understand? You're going to feel betrayed. You're going to feel abandoned. You're going to feel alone. You understand? Because when you're doing the right thing, it never feels good. It never feels good to do the right thing. It's always the hardest thing to do. Now, the rewards that come from it, that makes you feel good. But in the process, making the right decision, it never feels good. It's always a stretch. It's always a burden. You understand? It's always something that you feel that you're going to have to go out of your way to complete. But you got to keep in mind, you've been making sacrifices your entire life to do what you want to do. How much more will it take for you to do what the Lord wants to be done? All right, so let's go to 45 and 1. We're just gonna review a little bit, go into 8, and then we're gonna jump straight into the lesson. Whoever got Genesis 45 and 1, go ahead. Gotta hit the button at the back of the thing, Yakubad. Make sure, I don't think it's pressed. There you go.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
Then Joseph could not refrain himself before all them that stood by him.
Mm-hmm.
And he cried, cause every man to go out from me. And there stood no man with him,
mm-hmm.
while Joseph made himself known unto his brethren. Verse 2, and he wept aloud, and the Egyptians in the house of Pharaoh heard. Verse 3,
mm-hmm.
and Joseph said unto his brethren, I am Joseph. Doth my father yet live? And his brethren could not answer him, for they were troubled at his presence. Verse 4, and Joseph said unto his brethren, come near to me, I pray you. And they came near. And he said, I am Joseph, your brother, whom ye sold into Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
Verse 5.
Give me Yakubah, give me Habakkuk 1 and 5. You understand? Like he was overwhelmed with emotion. You understand? From the point where he saw his brothers up to now. So we've been talking about brotherhood this entire time. You know what I'm saying? When we was talking about testing every spirit. You know what I'm saying? To know if it's of the Lord. Up to this point, Joseph has been testing his brothers to see if they going through they got the same BS spirit that they had when they sold him into slavery, or if they really learned their lesson. You know what I'm saying? But also, this is a lesson not only for his brothers, but it's also a lesson for Joseph. You know what I'm saying? Read what you got in Habakkuk.
Okay. This is the book of Habakkuk. Verse 1, chapter 1, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Behold, ye among the heathen.
Where is Joseph right now? In Egypt. So he's amongst the heathens right now. You know what I'm saying? Where are we? We're in America. We're amongst the melting pot of heathens and the melting pot of culture. Keep reading.
And regard and wonder marvelously.
Mm-hmm.
For I will work a work. It's like I work a work in your day.
You know what I'm saying? And he said, and regard and wonder marvelously, because even though you're amongst the heathen and you're not great amongst the heathen, the Lord is going to do marvelous works. Like when Joseph was sold into slavery, like he never thought that he'd be a head of a household, that he would be running a household, but then he never thought that he would be accused of rape either. And then him being in prison, and then his first day being called out of prison, he go before Pharaoh, you know what I'm saying, looking draped up and dripped out. Know what I'm talking about? You feel me? And then in that day, he be made number 2 over all of Egypt, as far as the eye can see. And that means the subsidiary nations that were under Egypt. You know what I'm saying? All along the Cush Valley and the Nile Valley. You understand? So in your days, the Lord is going to do marvelous things. You understand? Keep reading.
Which ye will not believe.
Which what?
Which ye will not believe.
Which what?
Which ye will not believe.
I bet when you was a kid, you never thought that you'd be a priest. You understand? You never, when you was in the world, you never would have imagined that you would have gave up the things that you loved to be in here. You understand? It's you gonna see greater things than that. Like, brother, if you would have told me that I would see demon possessions, that I would see demons come out and attack people right out in the street, you know what I'm saying? If you would have told me that I would be driving 2 hours through cartel country to deliver food to Haitians at the border that the United States didn't want to give any type of rations to, I'd be like, you outside your mind. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you'd have told me that I was a Hebrew Israelite, I'd have told you was crazy then. But the Lord said that he's going to do marvelous works in your life. But the thing that you have to do above all of that to receive those things and experience those things, you have to be willing to sacrifice your life. Joseph forfeited his life, and because of that, he did not complain, because we've gone through every phase of Joseph's life, and not in one portion did it say he murmured, that he complained. He just rolled with it. That's the type of man that you gotta be. And then when you get men that come amongst you, that the Lord brings to you, and you might have an alt with him. You know what I'm saying? He might have been your opposition out in the street. He might have did something ill to you when you was young. But when he come in here, you got to treat him as if none of that happened, but you got to test his spirit, just like Joseph did. You understand? Keep reading.
Which ye will not believe, though it be told you.
You understand? Like, brother, when I came into the truth, I was told of the things that I was gonna see. I ain't believe in no demons coming out the woodwork. Now I was very spiritual, you know what I'm saying? Like, doing the whole transcendental meditation stuff and all of that stuff, but seeing people possessed or healing the sick, you know what I'm saying? Like watching a walking miracle in front of me, watching the lame walk, you know what I'm saying? I'd be like, nigga, you outside your mind. know what I'm saying? Like, I believe, well, we all say we believe in Christ, but we don't necessarily believe in miracles. But in the truth, you know what I'm saying? You would have seen it all. You understand? Like YAHANNA is literally a walking miracle. Every time I see him, you know what I'm saying? Every time he salute me upright like this, you know what I'm saying? Every time we have an in-depth conversation, you know what I'm saying? Because it'll be times, you know, back in the day, you know, we'd have to, you know, hold our brother up and sit him down. He's like, now he's like, I got it out. You know what I'm saying? When I met him, he walked with a cane and he was bent over like the letter L. He couldn't stand upright, huh? But as he did the work of the Lord, just one day YAHANNA walked in upright. You know what I'm saying? That is a marvel and a wondrous work. That's something that he probably never thought he would imagine that would happen. Am I lying, YAHANNA? You know what I'm saying? That's the Lord. And something like that is going to happen in every single last one of your lives. The Christian phrase for the scripture that we're reading is the Lord moves in mysterious ways. That phrase comes from what we're reading right now. You know what I'm saying? It is a mysterious thing for you to go through hell to experience heaven. Only the Lord knows the route to heaven. Most people don't believe you got to walk through hell. How can you know peace if you've never known chaos? How can you know joy if you've never known sadness? How can you know love if you've never experienced hate? Like Solomon said, there's a time and a place for everything under the sun. And you have to experience this wide range of emotion. You know what that's called, Doc? It's called healing. Whatever it is that you're going through, you have to experience those emotions to heal, to be the best version of yourself for those that are to come. You know what I'm saying? How can you be a great leader if you never learn how to follow? The reason why you have to go through the hurdles that you go through is so when the man comes behind you, he will appreciate what he has. Like, all of these obstacles are not just set because, you know, we want to just make it hard for you. Nobody wants to clean the toilets. Hell, people don't like cleaning the toilets in their own house, let alone in a stranger's house. But yeah, you got to clean up after every brother and every sister. That there is symbology in that, because that's what you will be doing for the rest of your life. You will be cleaning the toilet of Israel. You will be cleaning the stains of fecal matter out of Israel. Every brother that comes in is a walking cesspool, something in him that needs to be purged, something in him that needs to be scrubbed. You understand? Like, I'm reminded of the scripture when the Lord, you know, makes different vessels. Some are unto honor, some are unto dishonor. You understand? If that vessel, that toilet bowl had feelings, do you think that toilet bowl bristle, you think that feels good at that toilet bowl? Probably not. You know what I'm saying? But it's necessary. It is a necessary hardness that bowl has to go through to be clean. To stop a bush from going crazy, it got to get heads. It got to get cut. Such is your process. And all of it is a sacrifice for brotherhood. All right. Give me give me John 8:32. Because you got to understand, everything that you're going through is with purpose. The Lord moves with purpose. The hell that you are experiencing, you got to have in the back of your mind that there is a purpose. You understand? Like you cannot be free without discipline. Understand that now. You cannot be free without discipline. And the only way to get discipline is to go through hell, to get fired a couple of times, to get evicted a couple of times, maybe have a repossession. You know what I'm saying? Because what walking is going to do is teach you to pay your car note on time. What being evicted is going to do is going to make sure that what? You pay your rent on time. Okay, now you get a car, now you get a house, but you don't keep it clean. A plague of roaches will solve that out. Because you'll get tired of something creeping and crawling on you in the middle of the night. So we didn't all had that experience when you was a kid, a roach crawl across your face in the middle of the night. You wake up. You feel me? You know what I'm saying? Or ants being in your bed. That's the worst. That means your house is next. If you got ants in your bed, that means your house is next level dirty. You know what I'm saying? Nigga, outside has become inside. They have nested somewhere in your house. But that's what we gotta do. We gotta go through hell to get the discipline to clean ourselves up. But the only way that you're gonna experience that is hard times. Taking loss. Losses are not it's a lesson. Some people, and if you can learn this way by a brother just telling you what to do and what not to do, you an amazing brother. You an amazing sister. But some people have to learn from experience. Because they have to say, no, I don't think it's going to go like that. All right. I'm trying to tell you. I feel you, but that was back in your day. Today is different. Drug dealers are still drug dealers out. Whores are still whores. Whoremongers are still whoremongers. You understand? Alcohol still makes alcoholics. You feel me? The reason why your parents didn't want you hanging around a certain people because they saw the end result of that person, that story in their life. All right, give me what I got. Give me what I asked for.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
Salakia. That boy Blake said, and roaches will bite your ass. Oh, Salakia. Read that one more time, brother.
This is the book of John, chapter 8, verse 32.
Mm-hmm.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make ye free.
You free. The truth shall do what?
Make you free.
Now what do Christians say? Christians, they say that verse, they say something different. Go ahead, Yabakan. Oh, you got it? What you got in?
The truth shall set you free.
It shall set you free. Now, what is the difference between set and make? The truth shall set you free. Go ahead, give Yabakan a try.
It's lucky, sir. So the truth shall set you free says that you've once been free before, but you've been captive. You're now captive. And make you free means that you've never been free before, and now you are made free.
And I would like to add something to that, right? When you say the truth shall set you free, that's the mindset that Christians have. They feel that they're saved, right? So they feel like they don't got to do no more work. You know what I'm saying? But when you have the mindset that the truth makes you free, you have an understanding that this is not a one-time thing. This is a daily thing. This is not something that got the truth, y'all. I'm free. I'm saved. I'm saved. You look at it when you see the truth, you be like, that's heavy right there. I gotta do this every day. And every day you look at it like, man. You look at your sin that you want to do, but then you look at that, you be like, man. But when you got that torch, you got the light. It is heavy to walk with the light out. To know that you will forever be shrouded in darkness, you got to hold this light to see your path. That is heavy. All a Christian would do, they'd be like, yeah, they're the light. Look at that light. But a person that walks in the truth knows that not only do they have to bear that light, they have to walk with that light, and they got to keep that light lit in rain, sleet, snow, hurricane winds. You understand? Being attacked by random things that's coming out of darkness, trying to knock the torch out your hand. The torch fall by the wayside. You got to go pick it up, and you trying to stoke it to keep the light up. And all the time while you walk, you trying to make that flame bigger and bigger to the point to where nothing to ever think to approach you. Now you walking around with a little lighter, you're like, what you gonna do with that little lighter? But you get to the point where that lighter then became a flamethrower, somebody gonna think twice before walking upon you. But it takes sacrifice. Go ahead, brother.
If I could, sir, it's heavy what you're saying with that analogy. Because when you take the oil to be a priest, your job is to make sure other people got light at that point.
Come on, man. Like when you take that oil, when you get your name, you know what I'm saying? Okay, so so it's 2 times, major times coming in truth when you get oil. When you get your name, right? Now, they ask you, if you want the oil, right? So that first choice is choosing to become a new creature. You know what I'm saying? The moment that you take that oil upon your head to get your name, that's saying, this day I die. And I am born again, a new person. I am choosing to be a baby in Christ. I am choosing to forfeit my life. Then the second time you take oil is an even greater sacrifice. You've already chosen to die. Now you're choosing to die for your people. To take the oil and to make the oath of a priest is not a light thing. You're choosing to be Joseph. You're choosing to be abandoned by your family. You're choosing to go into slavery for your brothers. You're choosing to be ridiculed and downtrodden, possibly thrown in jail. Because I tell people all the time, everything that you face walking away from the Lord, you got to face walking towards the Lord. And sometimes it may be warrants. And you might have to go sit down. You may have the money to pay them, but you got to turn yourself in, and it might be Friday when you turn yourself in and you can't see the judge until Monday morning. And them 3 days, you in hell. I remember the last time I went to jail, I was looking at a dude just smack his head up against the glass until his head exploded. Yeah. He did it so he'll get out the tank. So he'll be over there in his own tank, you know what I'm saying, and have stuff delivered to him because he didn't want to be around people. Yeah, brother. But you got to go through hell to get to heaven. Huh? Everybody got to experience it. You're no different. Everybody got to experience their own little bit of hell, whether it's your health, family, children, you understand, work, or the streets. Because you may have been that dude or that chick out in the streets. And you got to face that coming into the truth. You got to look all those people in the eye that you used to deal with out there on that level, and you got to look them in the eye, and they got to see you at a different level. They got to see you as something different. That's the purpose of the first oil. Man, you know, I almost didn't recognize you. Bobby, Ricky, is that you? Aaron, is that you? And almost, you look completely different. That's because Aaron has died. And whatever his new name is going to be reborn. But it takes sacrifice. You got to be willing to forfeit your life to have a life that you've never had. You got to be willing to forfeit potentially your friends and family that you say that you love, but low-key you hate because of the way that they treat you, for friends and family that will treat you the way that you're supposed to be treated. And that's not to say the truth. You won't go through things. You won't feel betrayed, but you learn how to communicate through those issues, as we're watching Joseph go through, to the point to where he feels comfortable to reveal himself to his brothers. To say, look, man, you see what I told y'all about back then, the vision that I had. Look what the Lord did. He's going to do things, marvelous and wonderful things that you won't even believe about, that you wouldn't even conceive that you would be able to do. You're going to feed people that you never thought that you could feed. You're going to look out and take care of people that you would have never thought that you could look out and take care of. What's your rank, Yakubad? What's your rank, Yakubad? You know what I'm saying? What's your rank, Sapar? That means that y'all have the capacity and capability to look after 50 men and their families. That's the mindset that you got to have. An officer of 50 is not a light thing. That means that you are responsible. You have the potential to be responsible for 50 men and their families. So let's just say that man has a wife and a child. That's 150 people that you have the potential to watch over. That's why it's so important that you have to check yourself daily. Don't be like, oh, I'm just a trooper, or I'm just a 50. You got to have it in your mindset that at any given time, I'm going to get called on to deal with 50 men and their families. You got to look at yourself. Do I have the capability to counsel 50 men and their families? And if you don't, you got a lot of work to do. And the moment that you get to the point where you're able to do that, guess what? That means that you're able to handle 500 men and their families. And when you get to that point, guess what? 5,000 men and their families. Then 10,000. Then 12,000. Then 13,000. Then you become a general of your own nation, your own section of people. You control not just a region, you control a section of the world. But the reason why you're able to do that is because first, as a trooper, you was able to deal with yourself. Then when you learn how to deal with yourself, you weren't ready, but you learn how to deal with 50 people. Like Joseph was not ready, or he didn't think that he was ready to take on the job of procuring rations for an entire nation. But guess what? He was prepared in the centurion's house. You understand? The Lord prepared him for what he would do on a grand scale, on a minor scale, when he had to run Pharaoh's boy's house. Everything that you go through, every sacrifice that you make is to prepare you for the next level. I know it hurts. I know it's painful. I know you feel alone. I know you feel betrayed. But guess what? So was Christ. Even on the day that he got arrested. You understand, when he forfeited his life, the faithful 12, they weren't faithful. They turned their back for a second. But then when they saw everything that he said that he was going to do, he did, they snapped back to it. And now look at what the word of God has built. It always takes the sacrifice of one courageous man to do what no one is willing to do. And it may be you actually forfeiting your life so others can live. Sacrifice. All right, let's get back to it. We had 45-6. And Yagaba, while he's about to read that, pull 1 Corinthians 10 and 13 for me. Yabakan, give me Isaiah 49 and 9.
We were at 5.
I think you finished 5, brother.
Okay.
If you want to read it again and go into 6, we can do that. Go ahead.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 5.
Mm-hmm.
Now therefore be not grieved, nor angry with yourselves, that ye sold me hither.
Mm-hmm.
For God did send me before you to preserve life.
Now stop. Joseph faced someone or multiple people that set him up, got him sent up multiple times. Like, you might as well say that boy was locked up for 15 years. Falsely accused. You know what I'm saying? Waiting for his brothers to bond him out. They never came. And even yet, looking them in their eye, he's showing them brotherhood. He was like, you know what? If y'all wouldn't, you know what type of man it takes to look at the person that set them up and be like, you know what? If you would have never did what you did, I wouldn't be where I am to help you. It takes you going through hell to get to heaven now. It takes you losing everything to gain everything. It's going to take betrayal. You're going to feel like your family has betrayed you. And then one day, your mama, who was saying that you in the cult and, that you in league with the devil, you know what I'm saying? That's your Jesus, not my Jesus. One day she's going to look at you and be like, my son is really a priest. He's really a man of God. Then your family going to say, then your homeboys and your homegirls that looked at you crazy, they're going to be like, man, I don't really say much. They're going to say it when they see you face to face. Man, but I've been watching, man. I'm proud of your journey. You know what I'm saying? You've inspired me. I don't eat pork no more. You don't know who's watching you, Ak. You don't know who you're inspiring. You don't know whose life you're changing by just you sacrificing your life. You'll never know it. And then one day, they're going to be like, man, I watch your classes all the time. You don't never see their face pop in. What they'll do is, you know what I'm saying? They'll send your class to themselves and they'll go back and watch it so it won't show that they watching live. Man, that black watch you be sharing, man. Man, I watch it every week. Man, what y'all brothers saying is true. But you'll never know. And they won't tell you because they want to see if you gonna fold. They're gonna tell you that they're proud of you, but secretly they've been watching to see if you will fall. If you still that drug addict, if you still that alcoholic, if you're still that whore, if you're still that whoremonger, if you're still that liar, they want to see if you're still that old man. If you was that person they was shoulder to shoulder with in the game. But one day they're going to come to you and it's going to be something that you have because the Lord gave it to you. And you're going to be like, you know what? If you would have never did what you did that day, I wouldn't be where I am today to do what I can do for you today. And the reason why I'm able to do this, it's not because of what we used to do. It's because of the choice of what I chose to do. Serve the Lord. It was a hard sacrifice. I ain't gonna lie, man. Back in the day, I wanted to do something bad to you for what you did to me, bro. But what I was taught by the Lord, it allowed me to forgive you. And not only for me to forgive you, it's taught me how to serve you. Because that's the hardest part, because the scripture says that the Lord will make a table for you in front of your enemies. But what if the Lord made that table for you in front of your enemies for you to serve them? Because they're your brother. Because in that moment, that lesson is twofold. It's for you to see if you're going to show the same mercy that the Lord showed you. And it's for them, for the Lord, to humble their heart. Because in that moment, they're going to be like, how is this brother knowing what I did to him serving me? It's going to be like the scriptures say in Proverbs, it's going to be like reaping coals of hot fire on their forehead. It's going to blow their mind. Their mind is going to erupt. They're going to have a million. Why? Like I know what I did to you back in the day, bro, but why? Like why? Like why you helping me? And you know what you're going to say? Because of the Most High in Christ. And in that moment, they're going to see that you're different. You're not who they used to know. They can't recognize the person who you are right now. It's mind-boggling. But you have to be willing to be a trooper and kill yourself. I know it sounds crazy, but if you're not willing to die, you're not worthy to live. Read what you got. Matter of fact, keep reading, because you ain't got the 6 yet. Read 6 and 7, and I want you to pull what you got for me, Yakubad.
This is the book of Genesis, chapter 45, verse 6. Mm-hmm. For these 2 years hath the famine been in the land, and yet there are 5 years in which there shall neither be earing nor harvest. Verse 7. And God sent me before you to preserve you.
He said, what?
And God sent me before you to preserve you, a posterity in the earth, and to save your lives by a great deliverance.
In order to have an exalted seat, you got to prove yourself. And you know how you prove yourself? Through consistency of sacrifice. Read what you got for me, Yakubad.
This is the book, this is the book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 13. There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
Say that one more time, brother.
There hath no temptation taken you, but such as is common to man.
You understand? Like for me, it was Mary Jane, brother. Let me tell you. Me and my wife, we talk about it all the time. You know what I'm saying? We be walking outside, be like, "Ooh, that's smooth weed." The smell of weed, it never really stinks to me. You know what I'm saying? You just learn how to deal with it consistently, because there's no temptation that is not common to man. You don't think that the old man would love nothing more to just roll one? I'm telling you, it'll be just like riding a bike. You understand? You would love nothing more. But in order to have something that you've never had, you have to do something that you were never willing to do. And the first step is understand that there's no temptation that isn't common to man. You don't think a man would love to sleep with as many women as he possibly could? But that might not be the best thing for you, You understand? Even having a plethora of wives. Can you do it? Yeah. It may not be expedient. I'm telling you. Dealing with one, it's a lot. And you got to deal with that other one the same way you deal with that one. That is no life. And then don't have kids. You have no life. You have no privacy. Your life is not your own. On top of your first wife, the truth. There's no temptation that is not common to man. You have to understand that. And if you read a little bit further down, it'll tell you in every temptation, the Lord will give you a way out. In every situation, when your back is against the wall, the Lord will not put you in a situation where you do not have a way out of. You got to keep that in your mind at all times. Was that the end of that verse? Go ahead.
But God is faithful.
But what?
But God is faithful.
You understand? And you want to know why God is faithful? Somebody blow my mind. Why is God faithful? What is it? Go ahead.
It's like because you're consistent.
Consistent at what?
Being fair.
No, what's the word I've been saying this whole class? Starts with an S.
Sacrifice.
You've been consistent at sacrifice. So that's the only reason why the Lord is faithful, because you've been faithful. You have forfeited everything that you wanted to do what I told you to do. That's a father. A father provides for you as long as you do what he tells you to do. Sounds crazy, but it's the truth. Like people always say love is unconditional. That is a lie. Love comes with conditions. If you're gonna live under this roof, you're gonna abide by these rules, or you're gonna get out, Jack. My child or not. Either you gonna do what I say, or you gonna walk in the way of that door or that threshold. That's love. Because if I can't teach you how to be a man or teach you how to be a woman, guess what? The world gonna do it. And then maybe you'll come back. But if you don't, they're gonna have to make you a man or make you a woman. And them lessons out there, there's some hard lessons, bro. The world will put some miles on you. You'll be out here. I went with my wife to her class reunion. We out there at the picnic or whatever, and I saw our brother. I ain't never seen him in high school, but the brother, the brother looked 70. That's how much the world. Am I lying, baby? That's how much the world and the age is. But he walked up on me. He's like, "Man, brother, you look familiar." I was like, "Oh, I just got one of them faces." He said, "Yeah, man, but I know you." I was like, "Okay, brother. Well, be safe." "All right, brother." He looked like somebody, Uncle Johnny. You know what I'm saying? And when I say I'm talking about all uncles, like, we grown, we up in age. My uncles is all pushing 70, 75. You know what I'm saying? But he was young, huh? That's what the world will do to you. It'll take your youth from you. You understand? You'll look like what you've been through. A priest doesn't. You know what I'm saying? A priest, though he's fasting, going days without eating or drinking water, his face is anointed. You know what I'm saying? With fresh beard oils and Carl Glass shea butter. So he walking out here shimmering, smelling good. Hey, Shalom, Mike, what's going on, brother? High on life, high on energy, but you'll never know the sacrifice that he's taking. But having to learn out there in the world, everybody will see the sacrifice that's being taken. It's your life. You look like you nigh unto death. But God is faithful. Either way, he's faithful in the blessings and he damn sure faithful in them curses. So you got to choose. Either you kill yourself or he'll slowly kill you. And there's a million ways to die. It don't just got to be something bludgeoning or a blunt inanimate object or a sharp inanimate object or a bullet. It's a million ways to die. Imagine walking outside, jumping in your car, getting T-boned, and now you're a quadriplegic for the rest of your life. And the only thing that you can move is your finger, and you around here on a thing like this. And you got to have somebody come and change your diaper. And you got to use a little microphone and talk like this for the rest of your life. It's not a life, bro. That's a long, agonizing death. You could never run again. You can't even sit yourself up. You could never feed yourself again. It's a million ways to die. It's a million ways. You know what I'm saying? And most of y'all out there dying right now don't even know it. You're ODing on what feels good. You're ODing on likes and hearts. And it's crazy what people are out here doing for likes and hearts. It's not even currency, Ak. It is dopamine. You out here turning tricks on OnlyFans for likes and hearts. You out here doing crazy challenges, risking your health for likes and hearts. Does anybody remember the crate challenge? It's the stupidest shit I've never seen in my life. Stacking up crates in a pyramid form to see if you can walk across and down and knowing they ain't stable. For likes and hearts. I seen some people, I know he broke his back. Like the way his back bent when them crates fell, and it was still a stack of crates sitting up, and he fell this is back. Now he's staying this way now. His back went that way. You know what I'm saying? Like, bro, for hearts and likes, you killing yourself daily. You stunting for hearts and likes to the point to where you don't know what you like or love anymore. You know what I'm saying? You do it for the thrill, for the rush, for people to see. You do it to be seen, not to experience, but to be seen. And if everybody asks themselves when they do whatever the hell they about to do I really want to embark on this experience? 9 times out of 10, you probably say hell no. When you really think about what this experience entails, like, bro, like if you really realize the danger that you're in every time that you go to the strip club, you wouldn't go. There are STDs in the strip club out. There are murderers and thieves in the strip club out. You understand? There are sorcerers and witches and warlocks. They're called drug dealers. They're in the strip club out. And they're all looking for fresh prey. But you the fool. You go in there. I just don't understand how in your mind is like, yeah, I'm going to go in here with $200-$300 and come out with nothing. And that sounds like a good, anywhere that you go and there's a deficit and nothing gained, you've been took, and bamboozled into thinking that you had a good time. You just willingly capitulated into getting robbed. Because everything that is set up there is to take your money from you. Or your life. And you think you going back to the champagne room and you know, you thinking that you leaving with a good time, but something left with you out that champagne room and you taking it home to your wife. If you really thought about the adventures that you were embarking on daily and the risks that are there, 9 times out of 10, you wouldn't do it. Give me what you holding for me, Yabakan.
Khan. This is the book of Isaiah, chapter 49, verse 9. That thou mayest say to the prisoners, go forth. To them that are in darkness, show yourselves. They shall feed in the ways, and their pastures shall be in all high places.
Read that one more time.
Khan. Verse 9. That thou mayest say to the prisoners.
Where you at?
Isaiah 49:9.
No, Isaiah 48:9. Salaki if I gave you the wrong thing. Because clearly I did, because I heard a scribble. Isaiah 48:9.
Now, this is the book of Isaiah, chapter 48, verse 9.
Mm-hmm.
For my name's sake will I defer mine anger, and for my praise will I refrain for thee. that I cut thee not off.
That he do what?
That I cut thee not off.
Because you deserve to die. For what you've done in your life, you deserve to die. You understand? But the Lord has hope. You understand? Just like a father, even though your daddy will kick you out the house, he's still praying for you. He still got hope that you'll come to your senses and you'll come home, you'll apologize, and you'll get your act together. Because your father doesn't really care about your words. He cares about respect. That's your father in heaven. He loves you. He loves you unconditionally, but he will not be disrespected. Ever. Such as any man. The scripture says that the Lord is a man of war, and the Lord knows how to war out. He knows how to teach you a lesson. He's the best father. He gives the best punishments and the best blessings. But he does it for his name's sake, because he will not give his glory unto another, because you're his son. Keep reading.
Verse 10. Behold, I have refined thee, but not with silver.
Mm-hmm.
I have chosen thee in the furnace of affliction.
The furnace of what?
The furnace of affliction.
That's hard times in hell. Because in order for an ore to be in its purest form, you have to put it through a furnace to melt away the imperfection. You have to burn away all the minerals, all the gems, the dirt, all of that, to where all you have is the pureness of the ore floating at the top. And then you take a crucible and you scoop it out. But you got to be willing to take the heat out. It's not going to feel good. You're going to be under a lot of pressure. A lot. To the point it's going to be days like, man, I don't know if I can do this. But the one thing you got to remember is you made it through yesterday. Don't worry about tomorrow. Yesterday is gone. Just focus on in each moment, in each decision, being righteous. Just focus on what's in front of you. And before you know it, like I didn't even realize it, like I'm about to be 10 years old in the truth. And I remember when I was a trooper. Man, that I'm a child that can form sentences now. You know what I'm saying? I'm in elementary school. You know what I'm saying? I can scrap a little bit. I can somewhat think for myself. Well, no, my daddy said I can't do that. No. Nope. My daddy says you're a liar. You know what I'm saying? You got to be one of them kids. But what? Matter of fact, somebody. Hold on. What? Where you stop at?
Stop at 10. Finish 10.
Read to 11.
Verse 11. For mine own sake, even for my own sake, will I do it. For how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory unto another.
That's it, Doc. That's it. He's going to put you through hell for his sake. For everyone that turned their back on you and thought you wasn't going to be nothing. For everybody that abandoned you. For every employer that fired you. For every apartment that you got evicted from. For every car that got repoed. For for this moment. And then when we go from here, it's gonna be like in Habakkuk. You can't even, you don't have the mental capacity to even capitulate the marvels and the wonders that the Lord is about to do in your life. We ain't talking about when Christ comes. We talking about now. The things that you're going to do now, you can't even, like when you look back at yourself, God willing, 10, 20 years in the truth, and the things that you're saying, you're gonna be like, man, bro, I'd have never thought. I'd have seen this. I never thought that I would be this. I would never thought the things that I've done, the people that I've come across, the stories that I have of war. But it's because of your sacrifice, your willingness to kill yourself, your willingness to do for others. Because that's what it means to be a priest. That's what it means to be a daughter of Zion. It means that your needs do not supersede the needs of others. That's what it means to be a ruler. You know, the crazy part is, that's what it takes to be a father. Your father is teaching you how to be a father. Because you're going to have to be a father to the fatherless. You're going to have to be, as a sister, a mother to the motherless. You're going to have to be a brother to the brotherless, a sister to the sisterless. But it takes with the ultimate thing, sacrifice. Give me, somebody give me, somebody give me Matthew 18:3. Let's see what Christ said.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 3.
Mm-hmm.
And said, verily I say unto you.
Start at verse 1, because it's a question that comes before.
This is the book of Matthew, chapter 18, verse 1.
Mm-hmm.
At the same time came the disciples unto Yahushua, saying, who is the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Verse 2.
Now, why are they asking him who's the greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Does anybody know? They all trying to volley for their position. Like, who's going to be greatest in the kingdom of heaven? Is it going to be Peter? You know what I'm saying? Is it going to be Judas? Is it going to be Thomas? Is it going to be Andrew? Is it going to be Simon? Who going to be the greatest, Lord? Go ahead. Keep reading.
And Yahushua called a little child unto him and set him in the midst of them. Verse 3. And said, verily I say unto you, except ye be converted and become as little children, ye shall not enter into the kingdom of heaven.
Bro, being in the truth in I.S.U.P.K, that is so spiritual. If you're not willing to be converted and to become like a child, stupid, and being told what to do, read.
Verse 4. Whosoever therefore shall humble himself as this little child, the same is greatest in the kingdom of heaven.
You understand? You in order to be great in the kingdom of heaven, you have to be willing to take the most orders. You have to be willing to take on the most pressure. You have to be willing to do the most things that people don't want to do. You understand? Every great athlete that everybody cheers on, they didn't When it was Christmas break, guess what they was doing? Training. When everybody was off for summer vacation, guess what they was doing? Training. You understand? After they finished their homework, when everybody was going to sleep, guess what they was doing? Training. Or studying their position and what they were trying to be. Like when everybody wanted to when they was having off season, guess what they was doing? Training. The consistent thing is what? Training. And guess what? When they become professional, guess what they still do? Training. Because you became great amongst boys. You became great amongst teenagers. You understand? You became great amongst young men, but to be great amongst men, because once you get to the pros, you amongst all the men that have made it to the pros are great. They've all done what you've done. But how do you be greater than those that are great? You got to be willing to do what the greats aren't willing to do. Because everybody knows there's always somebody greater. You know, I know they have this whole Mike and LeBron comparison and all of that. We'll just say the consistency between both of them when they both stepped on the court. Like, we playing LeBron tonight. We playing Michael tonight. But mind you, all of them did the same thing. All of them. You have to be willing to do what no one's willing to do in order to be great. You got to fight. You got to fight for your life. And train. You know what training is? Sacrifice. It's sacrifice. You got to sacrifice every day. You got to sacrifice every holiday. You got to sacrifice spending time with your family. You got to sacrifice your loved ones sometimes. You got to sacrifice your friends. You might have to sacrifice multiple jobs. But either way, in order to be great in the kingdom, you got to be like a child. And be able to convert and do what you're told. Because the ones that came before you, guess what? They had to do the same thing. You think Christ wanted to get up on that cross and die? Hell, the night before, before he got arrested, he pleaded with his Father. He said, let this cup pass from me. But if it is your will, if it's your will, Father, let it be done. That's the type of man that you got to be. Christ did not want to die. Nobody wants to die. Nobody wants to give up smoking weed. Nobody wants to give up being with whores. Nobody wants to give up being a whore. Nobody wants to give up being an alcoholic. Nobody wants to give up being a liar. Nobody wants to give up being a thief. Nobody wants to give up being a drug addict. Nobody wants to do that. But guess what? In order to be great, you got to do what doesn't feel good. And guess what? Brotherhood, and a lot of times, sisterhood, most times, it don't feel good. Because you got to deal with somebody that's immature, that doesn't really know the value of what they have. And you got to deal with their ignorance with grace. Because you'll look at a brother lie to you. You'll know a brother lying to you in his face. You'll be like, no sweat out. And you know what the Lord gonna do. You're seeing what the Lord is going to do, and you just like this. You gonna learn. I know this lesson oh too well. The Lord will bring the person that's just like you to your doorstep, just to show you he has to go through this, because otherwise he won't learn, and you can't save him. And if you try and hop in the way and save him, you're gonna get thrashed in the process. That's also the hardest lesson right there, getting out of the way. You can't save. All you can do is tell them. All you can do is warn them. When the Pharisees and Sadducees asked, what's the sign that we gonna get? He said, you're gonna get the same sign as the time of Noah. It's gonna rain. That's all you're gonna get. Hey, rain coming, water gonna fall from the sky. I know you ain't never seen it before. I know you just seen water on the ground, water in the rivers, water in the ocean, but guess what? Water gonna fall from the sky. Like, this nigga out his mind. Water ain't never fell from the sky. That's all you gonna get. If you keep eating pork, shrimp, crab, and lobster, you gonna die. You're gonna get cancer, you're gonna get hypertension, you're gonna get high blood pressure, you're gonna get high cholesterol, you're gonna die of a stroke, you understand? Diabetes, cancer, you understand? You're gonna die. You keep being a whore, you keep being a whoremonger, you're gonna get an STD. Like, bro, it's not hard to be a prophet. I can prophesy all day. You understand? If you don't quarter, you go into child support court. Sis, if you don't quarter him, he gonna whoop your ass. He gonna lie to you. He gonna cheat. He gonna steal from you. It's not hard to prophesy. 1 + 1, guess what? It equals 2. If you keep doing cocaine, guess what? You're gonna die. If you keep smoking weed, you're gonna get lung cancer. Keep smoking cigarettes, guess what? On the side of the package, it don't say might. It says it will give you cancer. That's crazy. And then when you get cancer, you be like, you be surprised. How that happened? Nigga, Salakia. You know what I'm saying? It's literally been in front of you every time you didn't decide to smoke. What? But I eat vegetables though. Well, look what smoking them got you. You know what I'm saying? You feel me? The herbs is meant for meat. You know what I'm saying? Not for incense that you put in your lungs. Ta-da! Now you're dying. Now you want me to pray for you. Well, where was the prayer before? No. You know what I'm saying? Scripture says, when sin takes its fulfillment, it's death. Because the wages of sin is death. Every penalty is to lead you to die. You know what I'm saying? You get drunk and you get in your car. Guess what are the percentages of you dying? It's extremely high. Go ahead, brother.
50.
No, it's more than that, brother. I'm gonna tell you something. When I was, I think it was my senior year in high school. A close friend of mine, Haven Watson, his dad, he's a country boy. He introduced us to moonshine at 18 years old. He gave us all 2 Dixie cups probably half this size. And we talking about 180 proof white lightning to some boys. We was messed up. And then we went out. Thinking we grown because we 18, Smokey Black and Miles. Anybody knows when you drink and smoke, it's not a great mix. I mean, hell, even just, we ain't talking about weed, we just talking about smoking blacks or cigarettes. Your stomach gonna be feeling like this. You know what I'm saying? And then, you know, you can get Paul Masson. We started drinking Paul Mason. My nigga Paul Mason. Brother, when I was driving us home, like the lines was doing this. I know with nobody driving but the Lord, because we should have died. The penalty of sin is death. And the only reason why you live is because the Lord say, go get my son. He'll tell one of his angels, go get my son. Make sure he makes it home. Because he knows if he leaves you out there, it's over. And the plans that he has for you is forfeited. You've had multiple chances of it. So when you get to that point to where you're about to die, that's the last chance. The thing, it's been like everything that I've gone through has been for this moment. You understand? Like, and I think YAHANNA was there when it happened, when I got the phone call that my best friend died after camp. Were you there that day when I lost it in the school? Captain Isupk said he's never heard a man wail like that. In that moment, I understood the scripture where it said, and Jesus wept. But I wept because I told my brother in the hospital when he got into that accident, he fractured his hip. If you don't change, the Lord is going to kill you. That was the last conversation me and him had. The next phone call I got was him dying. I was undone. Don't be selfish, because your choices is going to do that to somebody else. They're going to become undone because you are selfish. Because you couldn't choose to kill yourself the right way so you can have a long, prosperous life. You chose the selfish way. Instead of being there for others, all you was there for was for your damn self. And no great man ever did that. And we're going to pause right here. We're going to pick up here next week. With that, we're going to say Amajium, which means to stand. Sar, which means to turn. We're going to face the east. We're going to do the Lord's Prayer first in Hebrew, then in English. Repeat after me. Abanawa, Shabbat Shemayim, Kodash, Hayah, Shemka, Yahweh, Malak with Ka, Taba'ah, Ratazayaka, Hayah, Aisha, Baratazah, Kawa, Hayah, Bashemayim, Nathunlanawa, Lakam, Call, Yawam, Wasalak Nawa, Kabawat Nawa, Kasalak Nawa, Kabawat Yanawa, Wala'ah, Tabi'ai Nawa, Banasaya 1, Abal, Hawashai Nawa, Mayan, Rai, Kaya, Laka, Hamalakwa, Waha'Allah, Wahata Para, La Awalumium, Aman. In the English, our Father, which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Yahweh, thy kingdom come, thy will be done
in earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our debts as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and the power, and the glory, forever. So be it. Sar, give a courtesy salute to the brothers, then to the sisters. Been a visual. Bani Shabbat. Maju. Rock. Yahweh Shem Yahweh Shah Brakatah. Got a batar? Sar. Turn to face sister. Been a visual. Bani Shabbat. Maju. Rock. Yahweh Shemar Thah Ba Shem Yahweh Shah. Got a batar? Dismiss.